Do you feel stressed because of your medical school or exams? I remember when I was studying for my high school exam, which will get me into medical school, my family and friends were telling me that once you finish this exam, you won't have to study as much. And that did not turn out to be true. In my med school, I was studying 3 or 4 times what I used to study in high school, and the stress was way more. In this video, I will share with you a few tips that helped me deal with my medical school stress and ultimately match in plastic surgery residency in the US as an IMG. My first advice to you is to break up the task. Whenever you feel stressed during medical school, try to take a step back and look at the source of your stress. What is causing your stress? And you will realize that in most instances, it's because there is a big task that you have to do within a short time period. For example, if you have an exam coming in 10 days and you have to study 1000 pages for that exam, when you think of the 1000 pages, that will cause you stress. My recommendation is try to break up the task, the 1000 pages you have to study on the 10 days that you have for the exam, and now start thinking about the 100 pages that you have to finish every day. Or maybe think of the 10 pages that you have to think every hour. Don't think about the 1000 pages. And in this case, you have a less of a problem to worry about when you're studying, and that will help you to start studying. So many times we feel that we are not in the mood of studying because there is so many pages that we have to study for. But when you have a shorter goal, when you have a smaller number of pages, you would feel more motivated to start, and once you start, it's easier to continue. My second tip is to have good time management skills. In our previous example, if you have 1000 pages that you have to study in 10 days, start thinking about how many hours will I be studying a day, how will my breaks look like. Some students prefer to study in 25 minutes, studying 5 minutes break. They do multiple sessions and then they take a long break. Some prefer to study 50 minutes, 10 minutes. Some prefer to do 2 hours straight, then they take a break. So you have to decide what is the best study schedule for you, because if you don't follow a certain schedule, you take too many breaks, that will make you feel extra stressed because you won't feel that you accomplished much each day. My third tip for you today is to lower your bar. I know that some of you might feel this is a strange tip to give, but in my opinion, if you have very high expectations and you don't meet these expectations every day, you'd start feeling stress. I'm sure you've heard of the Yerkes-Dodson law, which demonstrates the relationship between arousal and performance. In low arousal states, when you're bored, no motivation, no stress, your performance is low. But it's also the same when you have very high stress levels. When you're very stressed, your performance goes down. So that's why when you have very high expectations and you don't meet these expectations every day, you would start feeling stressed and your performance would go down. So if we have two students studying for an exam, one is shooting for 100% and the other shooting for 80%. The first one might be very stressed about that, and that might lead to lower performance compared to the other student who is within the normal stress range, and you might see at the end the second student scoring higher than the first one. So that's why I recommend not having very high expectations, very high bar for what you can do every day, because if you don't meet that bar, you will feel extra stressed and that will decrease your performance. My fourth tip to help you decrease your stress is to use your imagination. Think of the beautiful reasons and noble goals that you wanted to achieve after graduating from your medical school. Imagine yourself graduating, taking care of patients, doing surgeries, and thinking about these things that made you go into medicine in the first place might help decrease your stress. But these are on the long-term goals. On the short-term goals, if you're studying today for 10 hours and you were gonna reward yourself by going out or having a nice meal, this could be something to look for. So always think that, yes, now I'm studying, it's not that fun, but if I finish this today, I will be rewarding myself by going out or meeting a friend. My fifth advice for today is to keep your social network. I know that some advise students to stay home, not go out when they are studying, but I don't think that's a good advice. My recommendation is keep your social network, stay close to your family, go out with your friends, socialize with people, because that will keep you motivated to come the next day and study. And this is also something to look for when you're studying, that at the end of the day, after you study for these long hours, you will have something fun to do. But definitely keep that within reason. You have to stick to your schedule. For example, if you decided that today you'll be going out for 1 or 2 hours, try to stick to that. Don't go for 4 or 5 hours and disrupt your schedule, because that will affect your productivity and how much you can accomplish. Also, keep your hobbies and interests. Being in medical school or studying for an exam is not a reason for you to give up all your hobbies and interests and the things that you like to do. So if you play sport, or you enjoy music, or you like to pray or meditate, these things could help decrease your stress and keep you enjoying the journey, because always remember that the medical school and exams is a very long journey and you want to keep enjoying it. It's not only I want to graduate, I want to get this score. You want to keep this journey as enjoyable as possible. So my recommendation is keep doing your sports, keep doing the things that you like to do, but the same advice that I gave for your social network, keep it within reason. So if you decided to do 1 or 2 hours of break, divide it between your social network and your hobbies so you stay within your study schedule. Personally, I love playing piano, so I played piano throughout my medical school and I play piano until now. I love socializing with people, trying new restaurants, so I did that during medical school and now, and I run regularly because I feel sport keeps your mind and body refreshed. So when you start the next day, you don't feel bored, you're fresh and ready to start studying. And finally, stressors outside medical school. In many instances, we feel stressed during medical school or during an exam, but the real source of the stressor is outside medical school. It might be a financial problem we're having, or a problem in a family or a relationship. So try to take a step back, think of the real reasons of your stress and try to resolve that so you can decrease your medical school stress. Always remember that your medical school and medical journey is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a long journey, so give it time for your skills to build up, for your time management skills, sitting for long hours to study, staying focused. Things don't happen overnight. Your brain is like a muscle, and the more you practice, the more you're patient, the more you'll see the results. Also remember that these are tips that worked for me, but people are different and what worked for me might not work for you. So I would love to hear your thoughts and what helped you decrease your stress during your medical school, because that will help me and help other viewers learn from you. Also feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter at Malki Asad, or my Facebook page Malki Asad MD. If you found any value in this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell sign so you get notified whenever I post future videos about medical school, the USMLE exams, or the match process. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and see you in future videos. Peace.